An estimand is the precise statement of the clinical question a trial aims to answer. It sits upstream of statistics and points the analysis at a clear target. The estimand is different from the estimate, which is the number produced by the data, and different from the estimator, which is the method used to calculate that number. Getting the estimand right matters because it aligns objectives, data capture, and analysis. When the estimand is clear, the result is interpretable for clinicians, sponsors, and payers, and decisions can be made with confidence. Use estimands whenever a trial objective could be interpreted in more than one way, which is most of the time. They are critical when events after treatment start might change how outcomes are read. These intercurrent events include discontinuation, rescue medication, switching therapy, or death. Estimands are also essential when endpoints are composite, or when long follow-up creates competing priorities between real-world use and biological efficacy. If your stakeholders need clarity on whether the question is about effectiveness in practice or effect under adherence, you need an estimand. An estimand has 4 parts. First, the population, which describes who is included. Second, the variable, which states the endpoint and when it is measured. Third, the handling of intercurrent events, which defines how the question treats events that occur after treatment starts. Fourth, the summary measure, which states how the effect will be expressed. Intercurrent events can be addressed with a small set of recognized strategies. A treatment policy strategy includes outcomes regardless of the event and reflects typical use. A composite strategy folds the event into the endpoint, such as counting rescue medication as failure. A hypothetical strategy asks what the outcome would have been if the event had not happened, which needs modeling. A while-on-treatment strategy limits the question to outcomes before discontinuation and suits tolerability questions. A principal stratum strategy focuses on people in whom the event would not occur under either arm, which can be complex. Choose the strategy that matches the decision the trial needs to inform. For oncology, progression-free survival may use treatment policy when switching is common, composite if a new therapy signals failure, or hypothetical if switching is driven by policy unrelated to treatment effect. Translate the estimand into design and operations. In the protocol, write the estimand in plain language and echo it in objectives and endpoints. In the statistical analysis plan, choose an estimator that targets the estimand and set out the assumptions. For time-to-event questions, that might be a hazard ratio. When hazards are unlikely to be proportional, consider restricted mean survival time to express average time gained within a fixed horizon. For binary outcomes, select risk difference or risk ratio when absolute effect aids decisions. For continuous outcomes, pick a mean difference at a clinically meaningful time or a responder definition if a threshold matters. In data capture, ensure case report forms and external feeds record intercurrent events with timing and reasons. If you plan a hypothetical strategy, collect covariates and dates needed for modeling. If you plan a composite endpoint, record each component cleanly. Pre-specify 2 or 3 sensitivity analyses that probe the most important assumptions, such as alternative intercurrent event handling or different missing data mechanisms. Use this quick checklist as you plan. Define the primary estimand at concept stage and read it aloud to clinical and statistical colleagues. Confirm that population, variable, intercurrent event handling, and summary measure are each stated in one clear sentence. Explain why the chosen strategy fits the decision context. Select an estimator that truly targets the estimand and document the assumptions it needs. Ensure the schedule of assessments will capture the timing and reasons for discontinuation, rescue medication, switching, and deaths. Add fields for these events to case report forms. Plan 2 or 3 focused sensitivity analyses that test the most fragile assumptions. Keep wording consistent across the protocol, the analysis plan, and data collection materials. Avoid these common pitfalls. Do not treat intercurrent events and missing data as the same thing. Intercurrent events change the meaning of the endpoint. Missing data are a data availability problem. Do not choose a strategy for convenience if it does not match the trial objective. Do not default to the hazard ratio when another measure communicates the effect more clearly. Do not pick an estimator that targets a different question from the one stated. Do not allow inconsistencies between the protocol, the analysis plan, and the case report forms. And do not drop sensitivity analyses. they remain essential to test robustness, even with a well-defined estimand. Overall, a well-written estimand clarifies intent, shapes design, and makes the final result easier to interpret. To learn how Quanticurt can support your next trial, email inquiries@quanticurt.com or submit an RFI through our website.